Okay, hi friends, my name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. I don't know what happened to the end of that file. I guess I crashed. Welcome to Sunday Q&A. Hell has officially frozen over. DJI week has begun. Day one of DJI week. Some incredibly generous folks from the chat have sent over a whole effing bunch of DJI stuff. FPV Exchange, Matt McConnell Studios, T-Bird, thank you guys so much. And there were a couple of mystery packages also. And yeah, we're kind of sort of switching over. I'm not like fully switching. I'm still gonna have like an analog CineSplore, an analog glide, probably 2 analog glides. Tiny whoops are gonna stay analog. Most of the 3-inch micros are gonna stay analog. But yeah, it's basically looking like the gigs that I use for work are going to be moving over to DJI, and probably staying unless for some reason I really hate it. The only thing that really scares me about it at this point, now that I've like really had some time to think about it, is not being able to get into the OSD in the goggles. But I've got one of the little Speedy B USB things, which is not the best solution, especially on the CineSplores, because I'll have to pull a duct off to plug that thing in, and it's 4S. God forbid I don't have a 4S battery with me. I don't know why that would ever happen, but other than that, yeah, it's looking pretty good. A lot of the reasons that I was staying on analog have been figured out by a second set of goggles, basically, that were sent to me. So, yeah, this is wild. We're gonna start slow today, and we're gonna convert CineSplore number 2, the blue TPU CineSplore with the 15-degree up tilt mount and the prototype Newbie Drone Flow 2004 3100. I don't even think it's stamped on them. It's not stamped on them. I think these are 3100 kV motors. Yeah, we're gonna take this one on over to digital first. I also need to this rig has that incredibly annoying issue where it won't go into DFU mode because of some UART nonsense. So I need to move. Chat, what is it? You need to put. If you run into that issue, I think you need to move anything that's on an odd numbered UART to an even numbered UART. Somebody tag me and confirm that, because I know a couple of folks have run into that issue recently. So yeah, this is going to get torn down a little bit more than what we would normally tear it down for just to switch a VTX. But that's also good because I'm going to be feeding... How is this VTX powered now? Oh, I think this VTX is actually VBAT right now. This is a Rush Tank 20x20. I think it's running off of VBAT, so I think I can just... so yeah, I know that I can just take that VBAT source and feed it into the Vista. So yeah, we'll figure out what's the right length of screws for the Vista. We will... I'll finally get to use the... heat transfer tape that I bought from Amazon on the bottom of the Vista, which will turn the carbon fiber base plate into a heat sink, which should be pretty cool. And so, yeah, this is also a Q&A stream. So the majority of this Sunday stream is usually Q&A based, which is great. I feel like that's sort of the most valuable thing that I've got to offer here. So yeah, the majority of the stream is going to be that, but usually I'll get caught up on chat an hour and a half in, and then I'll roll over to the bench and we'll start cranking away on this thing as a crossfire antenna. You know, I might move this over to a Crossfire Immortal T while I'm at it. This is just the old school straight antenna with ground that it comes with. It works really, really well in this configuration as like an Immortal V, basically, but the Immortal T is sort of the easy button. So maybe we'll switch it on over to that as well. This is my full-time job. If you like these live streams and you'd like to see them continue, I need your help. Thumbs up, subscribe, bell, all that nonsense here on YouTube. But the thing that really helps me out is if you head over to CiottiFPV.com and just start clicking buttons. Patreon helps me out the most. You can join it for as little as $3 a month. There's a ton of benefits. It's well worth 10 cents a day. But there's also an Etsy store with a bunch of really cool stuff. Treat yourself. Buy yourself some random hardware or stickers. There's a Teespring store with shirts and mugs and sweatshirts and whatnot. There's a bunch of affiliate links over there, and there's even a Fiverr page where I can work one-on-one with you, help you fly better, help you tune better, help you build better, help you pick the parts that don't catch on fire. So lots of different ways to support your boy. You can also do a super chat or a PayPal over there on CiottiFPV.com. If you do PayPal, do me a favor, drop a super chat here, drop a chat here, and tag me and say, "Yo, Ciotti, check your PayPal," because I want to give you a shout out for supporting your gangly friend with your hard-earned dollars. In the chat, if you'd like to talk directly to me, all you need to do is type CiottiFPV. When you do that, it'll light up an orange like this, and I'll know that you're talking to me. If you don't do that, I'll assume you're talking amongst yourselves. I respect your privacy. I don't want to snoop on any conversations you might be having amongst yourselves. Maybe you're talking shit about me. I don't want to see that. For so many reasons. I don't want to see it because it'll make me sad. I don't want to see it because, you know, I respect your privacy. Take that very seriously here on the channel. Apache Smoke Wooden Sniper was first. He says, how you doing, my friend? Got my coffee ready. House is empty, so we're ready for some live streaming. Very cool. Mr. Huggy says, CiottiFPV, did I see a pig fly past your house? Nope. That was a CineSplore. Dressed up like a pig. On analog. For the record, analog for life. Yeah. A big part of why I'm doing the switch to DJI is because you guys want me to. And I know that sounds a little weird, but, you know, the majority of my income at the moment comes from you guys via Patreon, Super Chats, all the stuff. And so you guys are my bosses, and my bosses decided to give me a whole bunch of DJI stuff to enable me to build it, and that's what I'm gonna do. I have a feeling that I'm gonna stay on it, but analog for life, man. I mean, it works, it's dialed in, it's a known quantity, the OSD is better, lots of reasons to stay analog. Don't ever think that I'm abandoning analog. I'm gonna make a million jokes about it. About, you know, myself being a traitor and and things like that. But yeah, analog for life, man. Tiny whoops are always going to be analog. 3-inch rigs, 3-inch freestyle rigs. I have a feeling that there's going to be a point where HDZero becomes better than analog in pretty much every way. It's definitely not there yet. Definitely not there yet. But I have a feeling there will be a point where we kind of move away from analog on anything bigger than tiny whoops. I really don't think that tiny whoops are ever going to get there with digital. I hope to hell that they do, but I really, really, really doubt it, mainly because the chipset required for HD is big and it's power hungry. And when you're talking about tiny whoops and you're trying to do the stuff that I've been trying to do for the past few months with them, really hardcore indoor freestyle with, like, you know, mid-air stalls and like gravity moves, momentum moves, right? Every single gram counts, and I just don't see a world where that digital chipset is going to go onto an AIO. I also don't see a world where a separate PCB, a separate board, is going to be light enough and or durable enough. So yeah, I think that analog is going to live on in tiny whoops forever, and I love that. I love that because, you know, this hobby was built around analog. You know, what is it? FPV's been around realistically for about 8 years. And yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look what that says. The Masters of Bader. We used to, when I was the co-chair of the and the instructor chief of the South Jersey autocross program, we eventually found this amazing location, which was an abandoned airfield, airstrip called Bader Field, B-A-D-E-R Field. That was the name of the airport, Bader Airport. We called it Bader Field, because they would use it for concerts and stuff. And so we had a championship series there, and the winners of the series got these cups, and they were crowned the Masters of Bader. And that's when I was like, okay, I can die now. My life is complete. I'm a master of baiting. Bader. In the chat, Richard, Chomper FPV, Gravo, Arazi B, I pronounced it wrong, Frank Nicholas, Hard FPV, Dan636, Zach Lothamer, Ram Donko, Riot 9, Dragon Wing, It Starts, Athix, Dead Chicken, Free Turkey, Free Lojo, so much free. Oh no, wait, it's King Turkey. Free Turkey. Jesus. Then 636, Yella Captain, I pronounced that one somewhat right. Ram Jam, Remy Tim, Day Electronics, Northern Tier, Free Range Chicken, Terminal Insanity, Athix, Lewis Taylor, Free Lojo, Zach Lothamer, King Turkey, Athix, Vern Kelk, Ryan Jones, Lewis Taylor, Jonathan K, License to Drive, Panic FPV, Jackalope, Gray again, Ryan Jones again, Mindbender FPV, McConnell Studios is in the house, Lawbart, Chomper again, License to Drive again, Abraham, Marty Wazik, Lawbart, Layman Board, King Turkey again, RC Ritter. I got most of you guys. If you want the Gangly Man to read your name, you got to come into the chat early. You got to type something. And again, if you want to talk to me, make sure you type CiottiFPV into your comment, and it'll light up in orange. Razzie B Production says, yo, what's up, Collective and the Gangly One? Welcome to Real Good Looking FPV. Athix says, hey guys, and CiottiFPV. Freeloja says, hello, CiottiFPV Collective. Yellow Captain says, hello, CiottiFPV. How are you doing today? Free Range Chicken says, hello all, and CiottiFPV. Vern Kelk says, hope you're good, mate. Hello, Collective. Ryan Jones says, what up? Dan636 says, bad thing about DJI is crappy OSD. I agree. Yeah, the OSD is gonna really piss me off. I guaranteed. Like fair warning. Once we get to the point where I'm powering up goggles and like actually trying to fly this thing, any of these things that are getting built on DJI, yeah, prepare for some bitching. All right. King Turkey says Lewis script. Yeah. God damn it, I hate Lewis scripts. I am gonna have to do that though, aren't I? McConnell Studios says, check out the USB-C cable I sent with the red CineSplore one-way. Yeah, McConnell, speaking of McConnell Studios, he sent over a CineSplore with the FPV Cycle 23mm motors, which is pretty rad. This rig has a wobble that he hasn't been able to get out. I'm going to get it figured out, and then Matt told me to keep it, but I want to figure it out and send it back to him. Super generous. Matt's a ridiculously generous human being. But yeah, I'm gonna fly this a little bit. This cable is pretty cool. What do you mean one way, Matt? What do you mean? This is great. Look at this USB-C cable. It's got the 90 built into it, and you can actually, amazingly, you can sneak it right in there, and that's what she said. That was a fucking good one. Why am I such a fucking 8-year-old? It's got a 90 degree on it. Amazingly, you can sneak it on in there. Oh, shit. If it were only true, eh, boys? You're like laying there on your laptop, you can just like take care of business while you're taking care of business. Oh boy, that's gonna get me in trouble. Sometimes Maggie watches. License to Drive says, I'm curious to see how you notice the variable latency of DJI FPV as you progress further into the DJI rabbit hole and use it more and more. Me too, License. That's the other, the latency and the fact that the latency changes. I mean, there's a lot more latency, right? First and foremost. But also the fact that the latency does change. That's kind of the other big thing that I'm like, with. But the philosophy is that with DJI you can see farther ahead, and being able to see farther ahead will grossly outperform, outperform the difference in latency, right? We're talking about another, let's be generous and we'll say 2 to 3 tenths of a second. It is a lot less than that, but we'll just, worst case scenario, right? We're talking about an additional 2 to 3 tenths of a second in latency. That's way too much. Let's say 1 to 2 tenths of a second in latency. That's a lot closer. That's still like really overestimating it, but especially on a CineWhoop, you're going to be able to see way more than a tenth or two of a second out farther. Where it really does become an issue is if you're flying straight ahead and something comes into view, right? If like an object, like if a person is running past 90 degrees to your direction of travel and they come into view, that's when latency becomes very important. I have only really had that happen once in a gig that I was working. Usually these are very controlled situations with actors that have marks that they're hitting and stuff like that. So it feels like 99% of the time it's actually going to kind of be safer, because being able to see farther ahead is going to allow you to spot an issue or a gap that you want to shoot, or people shifted a little bit and you expected to be running one line and you can see that they shifted a little bit. This happens way more often than something entering my field of view, and being able to see the fact that they've moved earlier is going to really help out, because then you can modify your line and not have to like bail on it or potentially hit them. So I have a funny feeling that, and here's the thing too, like one of the things that I used to teach in motorsport, one of the big concepts that you teach students very early on is to look ahead, look far ahead. One of the things that happens in autocross specifically all the time is that people's eye line drops down, and when they're shooting for a gate or like a slalom cone, for example, they will just like target fixate on the cone, and they will like watch the cone go down the side of the car almost, and then it's like, oh wait, I'm going 80 miles an hour. What's next? Oh god, okay, I just wiped down an entire wall of cones. One of the things, so yeah, we would teach really like constantly, kind of, was like look ahead. Like you need to be looking 2 or even 3 gates ahead. Sometimes if it was a sweeper, we would need them to adjust their eye line out the side window so that they could see the exit of the corner or the next gate or whatever it may be. So in teaching that for 7 or 8 years, it's something that I do very, very naturally. Like I basically look as far as like my vision can like reconcile or whatever. Or as if it's a blind corner, I'll be staring at whatever's blocking my sight line to the rest of the corner, and I'll just fixate on that point so that I can see it, because your peripheral vision is plenty to make sure that you don't hit anything obvious, right? Like when you look ahead like that, you're looking ahead the whole time, so that if there's something that you're going to hit, you see it as early as possible, your brain registers it, and then you can continue to look ahead because you know that it's coming, and you can just avoid it. Your peripheral vision is enough to sort of avoid it. So yeah, a much higher quality video feed is going to really, really, really help out with that. If I fly analog for long enough, my eyes will actually start to kind of hurt, because I'm just looking so hard at the shitty analog feed to try to like look ahead and plan the route that I'm going to run, that it's kind of straining on my eyes. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm way more excited about DJI than I ever thought I would be, which is a good thing. License to Drive says, I'm curious. Oh, no, we got that. Riot9 says, how often do you change things in the OSD? Never. Betaflight Lua can change everything. I don't change things often in the OSD, but I use the menus in the OSD a lot. And my experience with Lua scripts has been that they're not totally bulletproof. Like, there are times where the Lua scripts just act really weird. And I don't have them set up so it's kind of a pain in the ass. But yeah, I'm gonna sort of be forced to start using them, and I have not used the Lua scripts a lot. And to be honest, the Lua scripts that in the past have not worked well have been the Crossfire-based Lua scripts. And, you know, so TBS stuff versus Betaflight stuff. Betaflight stuff is probably going to be a lot more reliable. What is going on with TBS's reliability over the last, like, 6 months? Have you guys noticed it? It's, yikes. Ryan, wait, no, we got that. Marty says, maybe add a Bluetooth module to a spare UART to change rates, etc. That's an interesting idea. I mean, I think realistically, I'll force myself to learn the Lua scripts, get that set up, and then the Speedy Bee is a nice backup. Removing the ducts on the CineSplore is very, very simple. It's three M2 screws, 1, 2, and 3. So removing this motor number 2 duct to get at the USB port with the Speedy Bee. Yeah, you know, I'm bitching about it, but I'm being a bit of a prima donna if I'm honest. So yeah, Pro Dangles. Is that a reference to the gangly man? Pro Dangles? Maybe not. Maybe I'm just making that up. But that's a cool idea, Marty. I actually really like that idea. Layman Board says UART1. What about UART1? Is UART1 the one that has a problem, or is UART the one that I need to use? Let me know. Freelojo says, I bet your sweetie got them just a hunch. Got what? What were we talking about at 3:06? Bent wieners? Day Electronics also says UART1. What is UART1 the problematic one that I need to pull stuff off of? I thought it was an odd and even thing, which is really weird, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know. I know a couple of you guys have had that issue where when you go to update your board, DFU mode acts really weird and it just refuses to work. Ramdoggo says, so do you think the DJI Step and the HDZero Step are the similar price? Penetration is what I want with onboard recording, something like that. Yeah, they seem to be about the same, all said and done. Although, getting into it from scratch, technically speaking, HDZero is more expensive because you got to spend like $300-400 on goggles and then another $200 on the module. And then the VTXs are really expensive. Like the 1 watt VTX is $100. That's wild. And then you got to buy the camera separately. They're not that different in price, and you know, eventually you're going to buy a Tiny Whoop and fly a Tiny Whoop more than likely, so then you've already got the Fat Shark goggles. So you know, HDZero, yeah, it's in the grand scheme of things, it's probably less money, but the problem is it's not great right now. Like, HDZero is great for long-range pilots, but that's about it. The 1 watt VTX is absolutely gigantic. It looks very heavy, and it doesn't hold a candle to the performance of DJI in everything other than all-out range. So yeah, like it's a weird situation that we're in. DJI is such a big company that they were able to throw just a ton of R&D at their system. HDZero, Fat Shark, is a tiny little company. I mean, I guess it's not even, it has nothing to do with Fat Shark anymore. They're a tiny little company, and they're not going to be able to, you know, like DJI can put more into R&D on a product in like a month than HDZero is going to be able to in like 10 years, you know what I mean? Just from like a manpower and money standpoint. So it's tough, you know. I would really prefer HDZero, but It's been around a while. It's gotten a little bit better for sure, but it's not getting better at a rate that makes me think that like anytime soon it'll be anywhere near as good as DJI, if ever, right? Like maybe not ever, honestly. So I don't know. We'll see. One of the biggest issues right now is just hardware related. You know, like there's a couple of sanely sized 200 milliwatt VTXs, which is fine for like tiny whoops, but and racing. I guess racing is the other spot where HDZero is really good, which I also don't do. So yeah, it's an interesting situation. I hope to hell that the HDZero guys keep pushing and keep making it better, and I would love for it to work well in a freestyle setting or in a cinematic setting, but it's definitely not there now, and I don't feel like it will be within the next 6 months to a year. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I really, really, really do, but I doubt that I am, unfortunately. Zach Lothamer says, wanted to let you know after stream last night I found a QX7 on Facebook Marketplace for $60. There it is! That a guy got from Amazon Pallet. Gonna try to snag it when I get paid this week. Very cool, Zach. That's a great deal. $60 for a QX7 is a rockin' deal. Expander says, would you look at that? CiottiFPV is going DJI. Whoop whoop. I sounded like the would you look at that guy just now. Chomper says, Ciotti, you hurt Analog's feelings. Lawbart says, Shutterbug did a 1S 23 gram 65 millimeter. He did. Unfortunately, that's still a little bit too heavy. And the durability of that rig is not going to be there because of the fact that it's a second PCB. That rig will never be as durable as a single PCB board. Not to mention that, you know, he had to cut a lot of corners to get the weight down that low, and all of those things are going to really impact durability. So for hardcore indoor freestyle, it's just not going to happen. If you want performance and durability, which when you're talking about hardcore indoor freestyle, you're talking about crashing constantly because flying acro inside is really, really difficult. If you haven't done it, you should. And then rewatch some of my Whoop Wednesday streams, and it's kind of even more impressive because, yeah, it's completely different. Indoor acro is a whole different animal than indoor angle mode, horizon mode. And yeah, you gotta really, you gotta really go for it and have a build that's super high performance, as lightweight as possible, but also very, very, very durable. Or, you know, every other battery, you're gonna be pulling things apart, swapping things, and that's just unrealistic. You know, if you want to get good at flying acro inside, you have to be able to put a ton of stick time in. And if you have a rig that is not super, super, super durable, it's just not going to happen. So, yeah, realistically, that's just kind of the situation. But somebody prove me wrong. Please, I would love it. I would love to be able to build these tiny whoops lighter and still have them be durable. I've been trying for 5 years. So if you've been doing it for 6 years and you've found the secret sauce, please, please, please give it to me. Yeah, I'll do pretty much anything. Many people have told me that they have the secret sauce, and it's not secret at all. It's fragile. It's the fragile sauce, and the fragile sauce I have no interest in because, yeah, I want to fly better, and part of flying better is pushing yourself beyond your limit, and when you do that, you crash a lot. So yeah, I'm still waiting for the person that shows me some flight footage indoors in tight spaces that's really, really good, with a rig that's lighter than what I've been building, and somebody that crashes really hard. I've never found that combination. Many have tried, none have succeeded, unfortunately, but you know, I try to put all of this stuff in the live streams because I want to share all of this knowledge so that we can make that happen, you know. I want all of us to build better, to fly better, to learn more, so that we can, yeah, because that benefits me, right? Like, I don't want to be the biggest swinging dick in the forest. Oh, God. What is happening today? Yeah, I want us all to fly really good, with really good gear. And the best way that I've found to do that is by sharing everything that I possibly can. I don't keep anything secret. I don't have any secret setups, no secret tunes, none of that nonsense. That's all bullshit. Anybody that does that they just don't get it. Share everything, and in the end, it will improve your experience. You know. Raviogi says, what's your goggle setup? Are you going to add an analog receiver to the DJI goggles? I am not. Patrick, P. Richard Scott in the chat, he is actually donating his analog receiver setup because it's so bad, and he just hates using it. And after talking to him and hearing his description of it, I'm like, no, not getting rid of Fat Shark, not getting rid of my Fat Shark HD3s, in favor of a janky ass analog through DJI setup. So there's actually two goggle setups. One of them, these are the director goggles. The googly eyes will be coming off of there when I actually start working with these. But these are the V1 goggles that FPV Exchange very kindly sent over, with the Newbie Drone green foam, which I don't know if I'm gonna keep. I'm really annoyed that the Newbie Drone green is so off from this olive drab green here. It really bothers me. So I might pull this. Newbie Drone foam off of here. I got an extra set of the black Newbie Drone foam for the giveaways, but I might just swap it out. I might put the black Newbie Drone foam on here and then put the green one in the bag for an upcoming giveaway. So these are the director goggles. Nothing magic on these. I did snag this really cool little panel here from, I want to say, RDQ, which perfectly fits in there to protect the screens, but it's also got these little loops in it for the antennas. So there are gigs where the directors don't want monitors. So, you know, these will sit in my bag with the antennas taken off up in here, and you know, if nobody wants a monitor, great. I can just use the main set of goggles. The main set of goggles were a complete surprise. Somebody bought these off of Amazon and had them shipped to me with a gift receipt that was just like, that just said like enjoy. So I don't know who these V2 DJI goggles came from, but they've got the iFlight crystal. I put one of my small stickers available at CiottiFPV.com over on my Etsy store. I put this sticker, it like perfectly fit over the iFlight crystal text. And then a set of the True RC stubbies up on top here, and then just the black fat strap. And yeah, now I've got black. Actually, we'll put it on right now. I'll give you guys an unboxing. Isn't this gonna be exciting? All right, ready? Oh man, this is. We went. You guys loved it last time I did this. Okay, all right, hold on. Let me get into the mindset of a. Let me get into the mindset of a douchey YouTube tech personality. Hey guys, my name's Aaron Ciotti, and I'm bringing you the hottest tech today. I can't even do it. I can't. It's so gross. I can't even do it. It's just here's listen. I'm gonna you know they peel this shit up. Peel the. Listen, I know you. Ready? This is the best. Oh, Doesn't it make you just, I hate YouTube sometimes. Oh wait, no, what am I doing? Hold on. Bad streamer. Bad live streamer. Bad YouTube tech personnel. ASMR, dude. Doesn't that make you want to come? No, don't say that. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna leave it there. Well, let's remove the old one. Nobody likes stock stuff. Let's. Why do I keep doing this like vomit sound? That's because that's what they make me feel. Velcro. Dude. I'm cool. Look how cool I am. YouTube is cool. Fucking punk rockers. Goddamn punk rockers playing in the neighborhood, racing down the street. Look, I'm putting the new foam on. It fits great. I mean, it does fit great. This newbie drone, this is not me trashing on the newbie drone foam at all. This foam is actually absolutely amazing. It fits perfect. It kills all the light leak. It's really good. Hey, I'm officially a newbie drone affiliate, by the way. Now, I don't have the link up on my website yet because it like just happened a couple days ago. But I've got some time tonight. I'm gonna dive into my email and get that all figured out. There it is. It's on there, guys. Ooh, look at it. Look how good it is. Ooh, 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 no light leak. Ooh. All right. This is. I wonder if there's a name for what's wrong with me. Look how good that looks. Look how official these look. Yeah, so these are the ones that I'm gonna run. And yeah, I think I might swap the maybe I'll swap the green. My God. Maybe I'll swap the green strap to these. Don't be a live streamer, guys. This is what happens. It's just not. It's better for my mental health, but it won't be better for yours. As if you were ever wondering how bad my mental health was previous to being a live streamer, here you go. What just happened, this is better. This is better than it was. Hey, shout out to the folks that told me that that you can pop the top metal strappy thing off. It's funny when I switched over to from the gas mask setup to the fat straps, I was looking at that top strap and I was like kind of looking at it and I'm like, oh man, what a bunch of ass. I swear to God too, this is seriously what happened in my head. I was like, DJI, you assholes, why would you make the screws? Just because like the way it was mounted, it looked like the screws had to go inside the goggles. And then I was kind of looking at the back here, I'm like, you assholes, why would you make the screws go all the way inside so I have to pull the whole thing apart? I'm not doing that, you pricks. I'll bend it down, I'll just leave it on there, you bastards. And then somebody was like, yo, you can remove it. The screws are right behind the Velcro. And then sure enough, I looked and I was like, oh, would you look at that? Thanks for doing that, DJI. That was nice of you. Sorry about, last week. I didn't do it on a live stream, though. It was just in my head. So I was like, well, Yet again, I'm the asshole. But that's fine, you know. Yeah, no light leak. And yeah, they're just comfy, man. Like this, they added like the perfect amount of foam on the. This is the big thing. Although it does still push here a little bit harder than on the sides. I don't know if it'll be super comfortable to wear for like a long period of time. I do have the 3D printed wedges for the sides. I will probably play around with putting those in. All I gotta do is stick Velcro to them, and then I can sneak those guys in, and that might make them even more comfortable. But my God, this Newbie Drone foam is so much better than this foam that they include, which is a shame because this is beautifully made. The foam that it comes with is like beautifully molded, and it's like a really nice material, and it's, you know. Don't do that. Wait until after, and then do that. DJI Electronics says, do you have some 30x30 hardware for us in South Africa? Cannot get that shite here. 30x30 hardware. Usually 30x30 is M3. I have not. The only thing that I haven't added to the Etsy store yet, hardware-wise, is M3. So now that you mentioned that, DAE, I will try my best this week to make some time to take pictures and list all of the M3 hardware that I've got. I have a lot on the Etsy store so that you can snag some of it. Yeah. Although, that being said, if you have any kind of access to Amazon, it's all on there. Any M2 or M3 hardware you would ever need is on Amazon. The only problem is when you buy it, you get it in like bags of 100, which is kind of insane. Flywoo does sell an M3 hardware kit in a nice little case. There are a couple of other M3 hardware kits that you can find from FPV stores. So whatever FPV stores will ship to you, usually they'll have like an other section or a hardware section or an accessories section. Hit that section of their website and just go all the way through it. You might be able to find an M3 hardware kit that has everything you need. Riot9, thank you for copy and pasting Lawbart's comment. Yeah, OG folks, if you see somebody new that doesn't know to tag CiottiFPV and they put a good comment, copy it, paste it, tag me. Make sure you copy their name though so that they get credit for asking such a good question. Raviogi says, we got that. License to Drive says FPV has been around for 8 years. I was doing FPV with RC cars back in 2006. Yeah, I mean FPV has been around forever. Not forever, but a lot longer than 8 years. But what I consider to be FPV, which is, you know, quadcopters that fly with some semblance of you know, of decency, has been around roughly for 8 or so years. But it might be even shorter than that. 8 years ago, I think we were still, and by we, I mean not me. I've only been in it for 5 years, but the folks that were in it 8 years ago, I think they were still hacking apart Wii controllers to grab the gyros out of there. And that's, I mean, I guess you could call that FPV, but that's awful janky. So I don't know. How long FPV has been around is up for interpretation. Joe G says, hey. Raviogi says, PayPal $5, need some clam? Deal, Raviogi.
諦めんなよ。諦めんなお前。どうしてそこでやめるんだそこで。もう少し頑張ってみろよ。ダ メダメダメダメ諦めたら周りのことを思うよ応援してる人たちのことを思ってるのってあともうちょっとのところなんだろ俺だってこのマイナス10度のところしじみが取れるって頑張ってんだよ絶対やってみろ必ず目標達成できるだからこそネバーギブアップ
Thank you very much, Raviogi. Very generous of you, my man. I pulled the green foam off of these V1 goggles, and it started to take the Velcro with it. But that's okay. That's okay. We won't. Get off! We won't fault them for that. I am going to take this olive drab strap and put it onto the V2 goggles. And the green newbie drone foam is going to be for giveaways. So if you want to get in on that, jump onto my Patreon and join the $5, $10, or $20 a month tiers. I don't know what tier this will be a part of the giveaway for. You'll just have to take your chances. It's all a gamble anyway. Life's a gamble. Hey guys, I got a second set of the bunch of twats. Goddamn YouTubers. Anuses. Why so angry? Because, you know, why, like, but here's why. Because the more awful and obnoxious you are on YouTube, the more popular you are. It's like a requirement to have a big YouTube channel, is to just be trash. Not 100% of the time, obviously, but like, it feels like that sometimes, right? Like the worse human being you are, the bigger your channel becomes. And, you know, that's not good. That's not what we want to be putting out into the world. Is it? Is it? It is? Oh, well, I guess I'm the asshole then. That's fine. Alright. We got black foam on both goggles. Life is good again. Riot9 says, can't switch OSD profiles either, but Lua for the win. Sweet HD is worth the effort. I have a feeling I'm going to agree with you. Abraham says, don't forget that OSD wasn't even a thing when we started this hobby. You need voltage and LQ. Anything beyond that is a first world problem. Yeah, I remember spending a lot of time, early days of FPV with the original Baby Hawk, which did not have OSD. I spent a lot of time figuring out how the hell to get telemetry going on that so that it would send telemetry back to my QX7, and then getting audio alerts in the QX7 to tell me things like RSSI, low RSSI and battery voltage and stuff like that. Yeah, and then OSD came along and it was like, oh, well, so you mean I can just like land and change the tune and like learn to tune that way? Oh. Yeah, I learned how to tune plugging the Baby Hawk into the computer over and over and over and over and over again. It was really ridiculous. Like the USB port on that Femto F3 flight controller must have gotten worn out at some point. It was just ridiculous. I would literally like come home from work and I would fly about 20 batteries a day. And in between each of those batteries, I would come back inside. I would fly off of my little porch in the tiny little apartment that I was in at the time. And I would fly around in the parking lot because, you know, toothpick life. And yeah, I would walk inside to the computer, plug into Betaflight, change a setting. You know, I would take like the roll P gain up 20 points I'd go out and fly another battery, come back in, take it down 40 points. And then I would just do that over and over and over again. Every single thing in beta flight, I would turn way up, I would turn way down, and then I would put it somewhere in the middle and try to find where I liked it the most. And that's how I learned how to tune. And if I did it, so can you! Tuning is not something to be afraid of. Tuning is something that is way easier now than it's ever been. You can do it in the OSD. The filtering in beta flight is just phenomenal. Yeah, if you decide that you want to learn to tune tomorrow, you'll know how to tune within a month, probably within a week. There's also a ton of info here on YouTube about tuning that did not exist back then either. So yeah, now's a really good time to learn how to tune. Or you can book me for a one-on-one session through my Fiverr store, or just by messaging me at CiottiFPV, either on Instagram or Facebook or wherever the hell you want. And I will teach you how to tune. I will tune your rigs and or teach. What I like to do is tune your rig, and as I'm tuning it with you, explain what the hell I'm doing so that you have a path. Because what I don't want you to do is then you change motors in a couple of weeks and you have to book another session. I want to explain what I'm doing and give you a path to move forward with the tune, so that if you do change motors, you know what to do. You can drop the gains down a little bit, make sure it's safe, and then start moving them back up. That's really what I like to do. But I mean, technically speaking, if you were just like, yo, I just want my rigs or whatever, I just want you to explain tuning to me, I would love to do that. That'd be great. Because it really is not rocket surgery or what's the other one? It's not or brain science. It's neither rocket surgery nor brain science. Remember that. Tuning is easy. You just have to do it. And like I said, it's especially easy right now because if you're on beta flight, because the filtering is just phenomenal in beta flight. In that beta flight, the tuning is easy. The rootness, tootness tuning is easy. I live in the South now, so I'm allowed to do that. Right? Is that true? Or is it still insulting? Yeah, I'm gonna do it anyway. What do I do with this? Shove it up. Never mind. Let's put this down here. And down here. And let's take these over here. Wait, no. This goes on these guys. This is really cool, man. And this is like $4 or something on RDQ. Look at that. Just goes right in there. And it just hangs out. And it's no big deal. Put it in your little pocket. Forget about it. Put it in the washer. Probably still be fine. Look, would you just look at it? Look, it's going to protect things. Look at that. Put your antennas in there. Or you could put like 4 shotgun shells in there if you're a complete maniac. Don't put shotgun shells in there. Leave your guns at the range, friends. Guns in the home are bad. Look up the statistics. It's terrible. There's a way better chance that someone will steal the gun and kill you, or someone in your house will kill themselves, even if you keep them locked up all the time, because very rarely do you actually keep them locked up all the time. But we won't go into gun stuff because they're bad. And for me it's different because mental illness. Day Electronics says she did. She's 90. Oh, yeah. Wow, I'm still looking at super chat comments from 318. Let's go. Let me go fast instead of making fun of YouTube tech reviewers. Even though, man, is it fun. And, I'm here for entertainment. as much as I'm here for DJI. It's a weird statement. Hey, look, this goggle setup, by the way, with the True RC stubbies and the iFlight crystal, it will fit in the DJI bag. Look at this. It's a little tight. That's what she said, but you know, we like it tight. That's what he said. It'll go right in there. Wait, first. Oh, God, this bag is so soft. Oh, it's so soft in here. Oh, why is it airtight? Oh, that's a bad idea, isn't it? Oh, it's so soft in there. Look at that. Would you just look at it? Ooh, I want to snuggle up in there and just... Oh, shit. Forgot where I was there for a minute. What is... Okay, come on. I swear it fits. The fat strap elastic thing is a little... I push it all the way up here. There's no reason to do that. But yeah, look. It fits. You don't have to waste your money on that ethics bag. You can just use your DJI bag and take that money and spend it on something that's actually going to make you a better pilot. Look at that! Goes right in there. It's not like... yeah, I mean, it fits in there. It's not tight to the point where it's like, ooh, I'm probably hurting something. It's just kind of snug. And like I said, if you're not weird like me with the elastic on the fat strap thing, yeah, you'll be fine. Look at that! Googles! Very expensive Googles. Okay. But my God, very nice Googles. Joe G says, are you going to Rampage this year? I hope so. I can't... It's a lot of money. I've previously worked as a volunteer at Rampage to not have to pay for the entry. Last year, I built and ran the Micro Mayhem area, which was super fun. I talked to Stacy, Bubby's mom, about it this year, and she said that Beta FPV hadn't contacted them about sponsoring that area, so they didn't know if they were going to be doing that area. So I talked to Iris over at Beta FPV, and I was like, hey, by the way, I was already talking to her about the 1 watt ELRS module. I was like, hey, Stacy from Rotor Riot wants to, is wondering if blah, 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 blah. And I connected those two, and I'm just waiting to hear back. So as long as Beta FPV is willing to sponsor that area again, in theory, that can be my volunteer assignment for Rampage this year, and I'll go. If that doesn't happen, I'll try to volunteer somewhere else. I don't know if they're all filled up with volunteers or not. I haven't heard anything about the volunteer setup this year, but we'll see. I hope to go, though. I will try very hard to go. Kevin Sumner says, I joined late, catching up. You are 1 and 3 are the ones to avoid for anything powered by USB. Yes! I thought so. Thank you, Kevin Sumner, for making me feel good about remembering that. Hopefully you're also right. We're going to find out. We're going to rip into this thing in a little bit here. I can't believe it's 4 o'clock already. Holy hell. Ruby Tim says, yes, CiottiFPV, you can still get to PIDs. What? Really? And whatnot in the DJI OSD. Really? Not sure where they draw the line, but you have access to the essentials in your always-on OSD and your OSD menus. Dude, that's amazing. All right. Oh, yeah. That is terrific. Cool. I love that. I absolutely love that. I'm very, very excited by that. You should see under this desk right now. It's like a fucking towel rod. You could hang a wet towel off of it. Ugh, gross. Ramdonko says, will DJI goggles perform better when not using the DJI controller/transmitter? I don't think so. Because I believe that the controller transmitter is a 2.4 gig link. So, yeah, that won't have any effect on the 5.8 that the video runs off of. But I bet you the chat will have a better answer than I do, because I'm very new to DJI. Remy Tim says, CiottiFPV can... yeah, CiottiFPV confirmed you can get PIDs and rates and maybe other things right in the DJI goggles. It works different than the analog OSD menu, but the same function. Oh man, that's really, really cool. I really, really like that. Espander says, latency is a type of breakup. What? You'll get used to it like you're used to analog breakup. Oh, I got you. I know what you mean. And most times you won't even notice it. DJI doesn't have full screen static, but skips a frame or two. Gotcha. Very cool. Layman Board says, do you know if the full-size air unit will fit the glide? It will not. Technically, you can put it in the middle, but then you really won't have space for your ESC. It's just not... Wait a second. Hold on. Let me ask Patrick. Patrick has been down that road. He might answer right away. Will the air unit fit in the glide? I have the best fucking friends in the world. I have the best regular friends in the world for any of you perverts. Espander said... Oh, wait, we got that. Oh, God. YouTube just did the thing. Scrolling back up. Farts. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm super behind. All right, we're gonna go fast here. We're gonna go fast. Man goes fast for 15 seconds and then goes on another rant. In 3, 2, 1. Oh my God, okay, so I have lost some chat. I'm so far behind in the chat that I lost a bunch of chat comments. So so I'm gonna pick back up here at 3:26 with Robert Garcelone's comment. And I am going to go fast because I'm going to start losing more. Robert says, UART 1, leave it open for DFU to work, is what I recall. I'm going to leave 1 and 3 open on this rig. Rodney says, I'm pretty sure you can change rates in the DJI goggles. It's been a while, but I know I've done that before. Very cool. Hard FPV says, have you tried using the Impulse RC driver fixer? That works for me. I'm on Mac, so we don't have to deal with that, plebeian driver nonsense. Yeah, it's a known issue. Anyway, Apache says, I'm flying, crashing acro in the house. I'm getting better at the flying part. It's hard, right? It's real hard. Athix FPV says, I was behind, but I use ELRS Lua for crossfire. ELRS Lua for crossfire. What? I was behind, but I use Express LRS Lua for... CF, I'm assuming CF is crossfire. What? What? Why would? How would you use what? ELRS Lua script would be for ELRS. Crossfire Lua script is for crossfire. Can you use ELRS Lua for crossfire? Why would you do that? Does it work better? That's wild. Haveboard says it's not off color, it's camp tones, black, green, brown. I assume we're talking about the newbie drone green. It's a little light. They on their website it says olive drab. Olive drab is there is a Pantone for olive drab, like it's a military color. It's like a known color. And the fat straps are olive drab. Like that's really the olive drab. The newbie drone, maybe they don't call it olive drab. Maybe they just call it green. But in their pictures, it certainly looks to be OD. OD is olive drab. But yeah, it's not. It's a little light. If I was gonna keep that that green newbie drone foam, I would change the fat strap to like coyote brown or something like that, so that, you know, it's like black goggles, green foam, brown, and then you've got the whole, you know, black, green, and brown is the old school woodland camo combination of colors. But yeah, the black foam is fine. Haveboard says camo. Oh, camo tones, black, green, ground. Gotcha. Abraham says, I'd be willing to bet it was the lady friend that got you those DJI V2s. Oh, that's what you guys were saying. Oh, that would be... I mean, I already love her so fucking hard. That would be next level. I have a feeling I might know who it was. But I could totally be wrong. Athix says, drone camps? What's that mean, Athix? June Loca says, you're welcome? Was it you, June? Yellow Captain says, I blocked the guy everywhere? What guy? I wasn't... Was I making... No, I was not making fun of anybody in particular. No. I was not making fun of... I forget his name from Drone Camps RC, but I was absolutely not making fun of him. I was just making fun of, like, the general YouTube... like, half of YouTube is filled up with idiots that just open new phones and go, it looks great! It's colorful. Like they're just idiots. Like, they don't have any professionalism. They don't have any, like, thing to say. That's who I was making fun of. Yeah, no, I was not taking a dig on anybody, for the record. I haven't watched Drone Camps RC in probably 3 or 4 years, since I was very, very new to the hobby. Michael Blade says, what's up? Espander says, and you did remove that top bracket. I did. Day Electronics says, it's her. She's 90 degrees. That's what I was talking about. Wieners. Greg Gerber says, I think the DJI goggles hacked CiottiFPV's mind. Yeah. Joe G FPV with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, hey, Ciotti, I had to leave the room and don't know if you answered my question about going to Rampage this year. Joe G, if you're in here again, I did just talk about it. If you were out of the room again, just tag me and say, yo, tell me about Rampage again. Brains Baked Bean says, I like the newbie drone foam without the wedges personally. I've not tried it with the wedges. I'll probably be lazy and just try it for a while, but if I feel like it's pushing too hard here when I'm flying with them for a while, I will definitely try the wedges. Day Electronics says, thank you. You're certainly welcome. Bob Noxious says, what's up, Collective? License to Drive says, I get what you mean by your view on how old FPV is. I started doing it before Fat Shark existed. That company put FPV on the map. I guess they kind of did, huh? That's interesting to think about. I always thought about, like the tech in the quads being the thing that made... But, like, man, it's true. Because there just was not a good goggle in the beginning. And, like, that's a big deal. Like, it's a really big deal having goggles that you can actually see with, right? Interesting, License. Yeah, shit. Fat Shark making goggles really did change a lot. Even though their first goggles were just awful. Holy crap. The field of view on their first couple sets of goggles was like little tiny postage stamps. Good lord. Michael D says, CiottiFPV is the Micro King. Thanks, dude. Finally found the video you mentioned your stream. If you want a sticker, I do have Micro King stickers. These new ones are not on Etsy, but if you leave a note, there are round versions of these on Etsy. If you would rather have this die cut version, just leave it in the notes. I finally found the video you mentioned in your stream a couple days ago about the time you did the Matty Flip with Drew Bardwell and other pilots. Yeah, it's a fun one, right, Michael? I spent more time editing that video than I have pretty much any other video. Mainly it was because at the moment I was still using iMovie and it was being a real dick. But yeah, that was a fun one to edit because there was like text and I did subtitles and it was a mess, but it turned out really good. Michael D says, if anyone is interested in seeing the videos, search for Quad Camp Indoor Power Loop and Matty Flip. Yeah, I used to have it. It used to be the, when you would go to my YouTube channel, it used to be the video that would automatically start playing. But I switched that over to the fireworks edit just because that's the greatest thing in the fucking world. Kevin Summers says, mailbag plus clam man equals mailman? God. Sort of. Espander says there's a film someone was flying FPV planes back in the 80s. Yeah, I think the TBS guys were, not in the 80s. I think in like the 90s they were involved in it. Yeah, there were FPV wings a long time ago. But I feel like FPV quads have really taken over FPV, right? Like when you say FPV, 9 people out of 10, if they know about it, think about racing and or, cinematic quads. Freestyle is still the redheaded stepchild. Freelojo says, I was saying I think your sweetie got you the second set of DJI goggles. I got there eventually, Freelojo. Thanks, dude. Freelojo also dropping the Patreon link. Thank you, dude. And the Fiverr link. And a whole bunch of other links. Tyler DD says, I need foam. Maybe you'll win, Tyler. Maybe. Ramdanko says, like it's Christmas Day. Abraham says, How I Flew FPV in the 1980s by Larry EKG. I've seen that video. It's wild. My God. How they didn't just vomit all over the place, I will never know. Oh, probably because it looked so bad they couldn't see where they were going anyway. So, Abraham says, ready for some PTSD flashbacks? Minim OSD. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, I was very close to putting a Minim OSD into the Baby Hawk, but I couldn't get it to fit. And then when the FR Sky RXSR first came out, that fixed a lot of issues because that would actually send telemetry back to the transmitter. The XM Plus would not. The XM Plus was only three plugs. The RXSR was like, oh, it's got a 4th pad for telemetry back and forth. Yeah, and get this, I actually, this is back when I was learning how to solder. FPV taught me how to solder. So the Femto F3 flight controller was set up for individual ESCs. The Baby Hawk had little tiny 6 amp individual ESCs. Look at this bullshit. This is what I learned how to solder on. So this is the ESC. There were 4 of these little shits on the arms of the Baby Hawk, the original Baby Hawk. And these are awful, by the way. They blow up all the time. So the Femto, it was tiny, but it was sort of an AIO. The term AIO has shifted over time, but it was very, very small, but they had through holes for everything. Everything was through holes, which I really loved. And so I was able to do an RXSR pinned on there. So I put the pins in a little plastic bastard, and then I was able to get the RXSR in there pinned so that it would hover, because the Femto F3 was just double-sided tape. There was no mounting holes on it at all. So it was just double-sided tape down, which actually works really well. Double-sided tape works very well as a vibration damper. The rig flew really good when you would get, I think the secret sauce was 2 pieces of VHB was just the right amount to give it just the perfect amount of vibration damping. And so, yeah, the RXSR was pinned to it. It was pinned to the flight controller, and it sat up. And then, yeah, that was tough. That was a tough soldering job. Those pins are a pain in the ass. Athix says, what's your go-to 6S battery size, 1100 or 1300? 1050. My favorites are the Tattoo R-Line 6S 1050s. They are the jam. I get about 5 minutes of runtime, and they don't sag, and they're nice and light. They're 170, 180 grams or so. And they're not super expensive. They're cheaper, and they have pretty much the same performance as the, I can't tell a performance difference between them and the Lunar Lander $40+ fancy pants batteries. you can get the tattoo R lines for $30, which is more than, more than China Hobby Line, more than GNB, but they outperform them and they're lighter weight than them. So, you get what you pay for. Beta Summer says, Bader Flight, I miss Toys R Us. Yeah. Greg Gerber says, CiottiFPV hacked by DJI for sure. Brandon McBean says, I like to store shaved hamsters in my DJI pouch. Wow. That's specific. Yella Captain says, it's so soft in there. That's what she said. Nice. Kevin Sumner says, if I'm wrong about the UARTs, so is JB and Maytech. Awesome. Good. Perfect. Bob Noxious says, expander not setting for different pole size can make it wobble. Oh, boy. What possible conversation was there about pole size? Woo. That's a good one. Bob Noxious says, oh, wait, no, we got that. Oh, am I caught up? Nope. Riot9 says, not shilly enough. I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. David Ciotti is in chat. That's my dad. Let's make him a moderator. Dad, now don't abuse these fancy moderator privileges. Don't you go banning people from the channel. Trusting you. You created me. Don't let me down. What else we got going on here? Aber the Am. Oh, we got that. North 49 RC says, I did convert my UZ65 to 2S. Someone on your Discord helped me out. Moved it all into the little homie frame. Effing rocks now. Thank you. Very cool, North 49. UZ65. I didn't know Happy Model made an AIO that was 2S compatible? Capable? That's the word. Pretty cool. 2S is a lot, though. If that's a rig for flying in the house, I actually recommend that you bring it off of 2S and do like the formula that I've been doing on Whoop Wednesdays. Yeah, you need to really save every single gram when you're flying indoor. If you're flying it outside, though, 2S is probably going to work. But just be aware that typically with these little tiny Whoop boards, 2S is really hard on them. So maybe that UZ65 board is a unicorn and it'll be fine on 2S. I don't know for a fact, but other newbie drone 1 to 2S AIOs do have a shorter lifespan when you run them on 2S. Kind of makes sense, right? But yeah, just be aware of that. I don't know anything specific, though, about that UZ65 board. Double Ciotti, Ramdongo says. Cadavra says, hey, Ahron, have a great week. All right, I will. Thanks for hanging, Cadavra. I've been called worse than Ahron. He spelled it A-H-R-O-N. The A-H-R-E-N is my first name, and my God, the pronunciations that I've gotten said to me over my lifespan have been pretty wild. A-H-R-O-N is actually pretty close to being correct. Mr. Huggy says, it's to hear your banter as I'm doing some soldering for my wing. Yes, you can put a wing on it. But can you put a wang on it? That's the real question. James Flores says, you are right about the goggles. When I saw the Scout goggles, I got them when they came out. Got a Roma F5 great box goggle, nearly perfect quad. Yeah, I've heard good things about the Fat Shark box goggles. I've heard really good things. Unfortunately, the focusing distance on box goggles is a little too close, and man, do they give me a headache. My first 1.5 to 2 years of flying, I was using $70 Eachine VR007 Pro. Got it. Goggles, and if I flew more than like 2 or 3 batteries, I would get a pretty nasty headache. And it also, like, when I would be driving home from flying, I would have a really hard time focusing on like the cars in front of me. Like, it was really hard. I probably like kind of fucked up my eyes. but it was just worth it. I just could not stop flying, and I just didn't have any money for Fat Sharks. You know, if you want it bad enough, you will just be willing to annihilate your body for it. And then, you know, later in life you'll be miserable, but for right now, Day Electronics says 1994 flight CONT was a PIC 877 microchip. Does that have something to do with FPV? Are we talking about old school FPV flying? Maybe. Ramdanko says, did the GNB 1S 300 mAh do well? It's okay. I think it's fine. Quad66 here on YouTube, great channel. Subscribe or I'll kill you. Quad66 has way more experience with me, way more experience than me with that class of battery, and he doesn't love the 380s. He likes the GNB 300s a lot better. Unfortunately, they don't make the 300s in 1S. Although I did snag a couple of Emacs, so I know Emacs doesn't make batteries, so they are OEMing these batteries from someone. One of the OEMs that, you know, like, so the RDQ batteries, for example, they OEM GNB to make their batteries. These little Emacs 300s look like, just the way that the wrapper is, it looks an awful lot like a GNB, and the MAH and the C rating is identical to the pink GNB 300s that Quad66 really likes. So I have a feeling that this is actually it. The only problem is they have the stupid GNB 27. Not stupid, but I don't have the. It's hard to get the other side of this connector. So I'm gonna cut this connector off. This is gonna kind of be annoying because I'm gonna rip through this as quickly as I can. This is the Mobula 7 ELRS. I've already taken the motors off it and swapped the motors. These motors here, these are the HGLRC Areola 0802 25,000s. These are coming off and they're going to go on a 65 millimeter frame so that I can compare them to the other 0802 25,000s. So at that point, this rig is going to come apart, but these batteries fit in this rig, in this frame only. So I don't know how to test these. But what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to completely cannibalize this. Here's what I think is going to happen. I'm going to pull these motors off. They're going to go 65. I'm going to take this this camera and canopy and antenna setup off, and I'm going to put it onto the Newbie drone 65 millimeter 0802 Happy Model 25,000 kV rig. And then I think I'm going to take this AIO, which will be the last piece of this that's missing. I'm going to take this AIO and I'm going to put it into a carbon fiber garden ripper, is what somebody called it brilliantly. So I think what I'm going to do with these batteries, I think I'm going to take this frame and so Friday, Freestyle Friday, we tested, this is the little build with the T-Motor 0803 22,000s that used to be in that stupid blue Meteor 75 frame. I think, and it was, I do want to fly this here at the apartment to see how it is. This already has BT 2.0 on it. I think what I'm going to do, after I confirm that this doesn't fly good, 0803s don't make any sense for 65 mil motor-to-motor rigs. They make sense for 75s. I think I'm going to pull this setup, motor and AIO and camera out of this. I think I'm going to put it into this Mobula 7 frame, and then that'll allow me to test these batteries, which I'm going to have to solder a BT 2.0 lead to, which is going to be annoying, but whatever. I'll be able to test these batteries against the 380s on T-Motor 0803 22,000s on a nice solid 75 millimeter frame, probably with tri-blades, and yeah, hopefully these batteries rule. Because there's a chance that, I mean, these T-Motor 0803 22,000s are kind of the best 0803s that there are for 1S. because they've got the KV. It could be a good little setup. I don't know. It was not great with the 380 mAh batteries, but yeah, like I said, Quad 66 says that the GNB 300s really do outperform the 380s, and they're lighter. These the 380s are 10 grams each, with a pH 2.0 on them. These little guys are going to be less than that, which is one of the problems with these 75 millimeter rigs, is they're too damn heavy for, 8.6 grams. And the GNB 27 connector is a really heavy connector. It's heavier than BT 2.0, so it'll be even lighter. So yeah, that could be kind of cool. Up until these, I was just gonna move away from 75, but maybe with these batteries and the 0803s, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. What also, so these T-Motor 0803s have 1mm motor shafts, which are a little bit too weak for how heavy 75mm builds typically are. But this V4 Mobula frame is really stiff, and it's got 4 supports here, and that should, so the reason why motor shafts bend is when you hit something, the duct pushes into the propeller, and then that pushes on the motor shaft. This frame, this is one of the strongest 75. This is way stronger than that Meteor 75 frame. So maybe the combination of this V4 Mobula 7 frame with these motors, with these batteries, could be the magic that makes 75 mil kind of sort of work. I still kind of doubt it, but I can't wait to find out. So yeah, I don't know if we're gonna jump into that this week, because this is DJI week. I think Whoop Wednesday this week is gonna be like CineWhoop Wednesday. I think I might build out the Tooth Fairy 2 into a fast CineWhoop with the new V4 FPV cycle ducts. Couple folks have been asking about these. Here, check out the profile. So on Thingiverse, you can print this out. This is a very, you can tell by this is a very low profile duct, and this flies great. But look at it. It's just a brick. You know, it's just straight. It does have a little taper on the top edge here, but that's kind of all that it's got going on for. I guess it tapers out a little bit on the bottom there. See it? It's kind of hard to see. There you go. You can see it tapers out on the bottom there, right? But look what Bob did, man. These V4 ducts. Look at the angle on there. That's gonna really, when this thing is cruising through the air at like this angle. Wait, no. There you go. Look at the airflow coming in, right? It's gonna really like cradle that airflow. Whereas like these more flat ones, when they're traveling forward, look at that. It's just like a brick, you know? It's just like this 45-degree angle. So yeah, these V4 ducts should perform really well. Unfortunately, you know, just like these, they're 3D printed. The 3D printing looks phenomenal, though. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think Brain 3D might be printing these, who is now a sponsor as well. A sponsor and an affiliate this week. Wild. So yeah, these are pretty exciting. The only issue with these is, and it's the same issue with these, I would not fly around people with these ducts. They're just not tall enough. Like, once the propeller is in there, there's just, like, it would be very easy for someone's finger to come up in here and get, like, cut and blood and bad. So I don't really see these as flying around talent ducts. These are more flying around like cars or other inanimate objects ducts, which makes sense because these ducts are kind of specifically for going a little bit faster. The height of the duct on the CineWhoop is going to have a lot to do with how fast it can travel because it's cutting through the wind. I recently, a couple days ago, put the purple and pink CineSplore back on the Cloud 149 ducts, which are very, very, very tall. So here's the tallest and the shortest ducts available next to each other. Look at the difference. Isn't that wild? So these CineSplore ducts, let me try to line this up on the bottom. Yeah, I mean, they're like, it's more than twice as high, I think. Yeah, it's almost like triple the height. So I did that. I put these back on here, and then the other CineSplore I put on the HQ ducts. They're right in front of me. The molded HQ ducts. Shout out to McConnell Studios for sending me over another set of these with the jib jabs pressed in, brass collars pressed in. So I flew these two guys back to back. They've got very similar motors, very similar tunes, very similar everything, and it's like night and day. Even just reducing the duct height by this much, which is like, I don't know, 5 millimeters maybe, makes a huge difference. I think the bigger difference though is like we were talking about a minute ago, the angle. Look at the angle on this duct. Hold it against my face. Wait, no, there we go. See the angle that's on that duct? When you're nose down, let me go this way. When you're nose down, traveling forward, this is a much more aerodynamic setup. Whereas these Cloud 149 ducts, when you're traveling forward, they're just a brick. This rig has a 5-degree GoPro mount on it. So this rig is very specifically for flying in close with talent. And I love that also because it would be tough to get like a digit in here. There's all kinds of protection. The propeller is like sunken way down in there. So yeah, on a windless day, or if you're flying really slow, these Cloud 149 ducts, which you can buy at RDQ, are absolutely the jam. But to be honest, these HQ ducts, these are the do everything duct. These will go slow. These will go a lot faster than those, a lot smoother. These new V4 FPV cycle ducts, they will absolutely perform better with the nose down, for sure. But I just don't feel comfortable with them. I don't feel comfortable flying around people with these V4 ducts. But for everything else, these are going to be better. So these are gonna be what goes on the Tooth Fairy 2 build that I'm gonna do, I think, on Wednesday of this week. So that should be really cool. I'm really excited to see how these fly because they should be wild. And I was talking to Bob, and he was telling me how amazing these fly. When I saw a picture of them, I was like, oh, well, of course they fly good. They're really small. The smaller you make a duct, the better it flies, like straight up. Even these 3D printed ones off of Thingiverse, they're pretty square, but they're small. They're very thin, and they fly better than these HQ ducts. Again, just because they're smaller, less aerodynamic obstruction, better nose down flight performance, better all around flight performance though, not just nose down. I mean, everything that they do is better because they're more aerodynamic, right? Like this ain't brain science or rocket surgery. So yeah, there's still life left in the 75mm rigs here at CiottiFPV HQ. But I don't know. I've said this before. This is probably, unless that setup that I just talked about with the Modula 7 frame flies really good, game over. And unfortunately, that AIO with those T-Motor 0803s direct soldered to it, that's the AIO that's been having problems, and it's been shutting off. The VTX just turns off. I might, once that thing is built, if it flies good, what I'll probably do is see if I can convince my buddy Seneca, who has a hot air station, to just go in there And I don't know what the VTX chipset looks like, but I bet you with a little bit of Googling I can figure it out. She said. And I'm hoping that, yeah, maybe he can go in there and hot air station and just reflow the VTX chipset, and maybe that'll bring that, because that's a V1 newbie drone board, which is one of the good ones with the MPU 6000 gyro on it. So I would love to bring that thing back to life. So we'll see. Man, that was a hell of a tangent. David Ciotti says, what can I do? You can time people out for 300 seconds, or you can completely ban people from the channel. Yeah, just don't do any of it. I made you a mod, Dad, so that your name would show up in blue, so that if you post, I can see you and keep an eye on you. Because you know the secrets of when I was young and dumb. King Turkey says, what motors you running on the 3-inch squeakers, and what is the dry wet weight? So I've got 3 rip squeaks that are up at the moment. One of them's on RCX 1306s, one of them's on Toka 1505s, one of them is on Zing 1504s. I don't know what the dry weights are, but the all-up weights are like 380, 370, 350, I think it is. The problem is I keep changing stuff on them, so the weights bounce up and down. But yeah, roughly 250-ish grams plus a little bit. I run a big battery on it. I run a 4S850 because that's the same battery that I run in the CineSplores. That's a little too big of a battery. Realistically, like a 700 mAh GNB battery would be the sweet spot, and that would bring them down below 250. 3-inch Freestyle rigs fly really good at 250 grams or a little bit more. 260, 270, they still fly real good. If you want a little bit more throw, you put them up at 260, 270, 280 grams. YouTube's about to do the thing. There it is. Thank you, YouTube. You make my life a little bit worse every time you do that. Where were we at here? Where were we at? Here we go. Here we go. And King Turkey says, oh, when we got that. License to Drive says, I'm curious about using HV lipos at normal lipo voltages. Does HV just mean they're rated 435 max charge, so charging 4.2 will give them a long lifetime per cell? Great question, License to Drive. High voltage lipos are a different chemistry. They are a chemistry that is specifically designed to be charged up to 4.35 and then run down. If you only charge an HV battery to 4.2, it will not make it last longer, unfortunately. HV batteries have a short lifespan no matter what. It's like having a razor's edge tune. They use this chemistry that's like more volatile, let's say. And yeah, the chemistry of the battery just does not have the same lifespan as a typical lipo chemistry. So yeah, charging HV batteries to 4.2, you don't take advantage of the extra milliamps or voltage, and you don't get any longer lifespan. So there's no reason to not charge them all the way up to HV voltage. Yeah, it's they are the razor's edge battery if you want to squeak out every last little bit of performance, but you're willing to sacrifice durability and longevity. Abraham says, my ass would be grass if I said F in front of my dad this many times. I'll never forget the first time I got caught cursing by my dad. After that, it was fine though. No, I didn't really curse too much growing up. But man, when I got out of the house, I made up for lost time. Woo! Jeff PV says, my V2 goggles are in the mail. Although my dad didn't really care so much about cursing. It was more my mom that gave me a hard time about it. I just wouldn't do it though. I just wouldn't curse when they were around. Probably like into my 20s. Eventually I was just like, fuck this. Jeff PV says, my V2 goggles are in the mail. Is there anything I should know before unboxing? No, I mean, all I've done is unbox them, Jeff, so I don't really know anything about them, to be really honest, but I doubt it. There's so much content here on YouTube, how to set them up, how to update them, all that nonsense. if you want to, you know, I'm going to be doing that this week. This is DJI week, so I'm going to be updating the goggles and doing all the things. I don't even know. I don't even know what to do. I'm going to be going on YouTube and searching for Joshua Bardwell videos. Come along if you'd like. I'll be on again tomorrow night at 10, Wednesday at 8, Friday at 7. Am I caught up on chat? No. Oh, it's 4:45. Jesus. Woo! That took a while. Okay, so we're not. I mean, you guys have seen me work on stuff. It's, yeah, it is what it is. I'm the best thing that I can possibly do to help you guys out the most is answer your questions, and that's why that's the main thing that I try to do on streams. So yeah, you're not missing anything, not seeing me take apart yet another rig. And, you know, mounting a DJI, like, I'm just going to put tape below it and just put big screws and crank it down. So there's not going to be any super exciting mounting things that go on here with the DJI setup. So yeah, probably tomorrow during the day or maybe this afternoon I will finish this. But we can do a little bit of it here. We can do a little bit of bench work here. Don't stop asking the great questions though. If you guys have questions, keep dropping them in the chat. That's the jam. All right, so let's rip this apart and get it ready. So like I said, yeah, this is a Rush 20x20 VTX in here. It's been great. It's a great little VTX, plenty of power. They've been very durable. Rush stuff is an anomaly, man. Rush stuff is less expensive than, way less expensive than TBS. It's even less expensive than some of Immersion RC's stuff, but it's still amazing quality, which is like, yeah, that's pretty rare. So I've used these Rush 20x20 VTXs quite a bit, and they did not let me down a single time. And that's more than I can say about TBS stuff, to be completely honest with you guys. So yeah, big thumbs up from me when it comes to Rush VTXs. I've heard some negative stuff about their flight controller ESC setups. I have not personally tried them to really talk any more about that without talking out my ass. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like, they haven't made flight controllers and ESCs before, so I mean, why would you expect them to be able to get it right on the first attempt? I'm sure that, I'm not sure of it, but they will probably learn from their failures and improve them in the future. What's going on here? Why are you not coming out of there? What are you doing? Get out of there. What is your damage, bro? There we go. Family Giver says, what happened with TBS? I don't know, man. I've heard more complaints in the past 6 months to a year about their quality than I ever have before. I don't know what's going on with them. If you believe Facebook, Tracer falls out of the sky every 10 seconds. And like, yeah, I don't know. Just a lot of you guys have been telling me that you've had TBS stuff shit the bed recently. So I don't know. Could be a coincidence, but I've not had great luck with their stuff either. Other than Crossfire. Crossfire's been absolutely bulletproof. Nah, not absolutely bulletproof. Crossfire has, I got a rig in the bottom of the ocean that was on Crossfire and was only a couple of 100 feet away when it happened. So yeah, I don't know. I had a weird little period with Crossfire. Their Pro 32 Nano VTX, I've had 2 of those fail, and I haven't had any of the other Nano VTXs fail, even ones that I had like shorted out. The Ishii Nanos have been ridiculously durable. So yeah, I've been recommending that people not get the Pro 32 Nano for a long time, Yeah, I don't know. It's wild. It's wild. Very strange. I don't know if they changed manufacturers or something like that, but I don't know. It seemed to be maybe struggling. Or maybe it's just confirmation bias, or maybe it's just totally random that a whole bunch of people all at once had a bunch of their stuff fail. But like when that 69 thing first came out, that was kind of when I started to hear a lot of complaints about TBS stuff. In fairness, TBS stuff is very popular, so when something's very popular, there are going to be more complaints about it, of course, right? Because the people that have a good experience just enjoy the good experience. They typically don't talk about it. But people that have a bad experience go on the internet and shit all over everyone. So, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I really hope that somebody comes out with a dual band ELRS module, 900 and 2.4, because I would love to move on over to ELRS 900 megahertz. That would allow me to get off of TBS stuff entirely. And which, to be completely transparent with you guys, that's more of a I typically don't run TBS stuff because Trappy has been an asshole towards Joshua Bardwell and a couple other people that I really love and respect. And yeah, I really I vote with my dollars, and I try not to support bad people with my. Not, I'm sorry. That's totally unfair to say that. It's totally unfair to say bad people there. But you know what I'm saying. Like I try not to support people that act that way. We should not, in my opinion, as human beings, support behavior like that. And if you don't agree, that's totally fine. But that's the experience that I've had, and that's what I've seen happen over the years, is Trappy just being a dick. And Joshua is unbelievably kind. Like, if I had been treated by that guy the way that Joshua has been, I would take every opportunity to just rag on him. Joshua is incredibly level-headed and fair with the way that with what he says when he talks about Trappy. So yeah, there's that. But that's just me. I'm not saying that any of you guys should not buy TBS stuff. They make some really good stuff. But yeah, it's been weird. There's been some weirdness over the last 6 months to a year. There's been a lot more. I've seen a lot more complaints about TBS quality than ever before. So I don't know. Could be nothing. Could be something. It's really hard to tell, man. Durability is just kind of impossible to really get a handle on, especially in a hobby where we smash the things that these electronics are going into actual brick walls at sometimes triple-digit speeds. So it's tough. It's very, very tough. Abraham says, I'm telling Trappy on you. That's okay. I'm sure he doesn't know or care that I exist, which is fine. I'd like to keep it that way, to be honest. All right. Sorry if you guys are like huge TBS fans. That's just my experience. Continue to be fans if you'd like. I've had an experience. Other people have different experiences. That's okay. That's life, man. Crossfire has been fantastic for the majority of the time that I've owned it. And when it was not being fantastic, it absolutely could have been because I had some of the settings wrong. I did have dynamic power on. I've been told from people that I trust that could not have possibly had anything to do with it, but maybe it did. I don't know. Ever since I've turned it off, it's been totally fine. but you know, causation does not equal correlation, of course. The question is, should I switch this over to an Immortal T? Well, let's see if I have enough Immortal T's to swap this over. I think I do. All right, receiver box. Hey, look at that. I have an extra Crossfire Nano just sitting right here. Let's see what we got. I have 3 extra full-size Immortal T's. Yeah, let's switch it over. Tempted to put it on a little one, but I still don't trust these little ones. The initial run of these little, not these with the plastic in the middle, but the initial run of these mini Mortal T's were not tuned right, and they were a real nightmare. The V2 mini Mortal T, which is what this is totally fine. Yeah, oh, I actually have 4 extras. So yeah, we'll definitely switch this over to a big full-size Immortal T. All right, and what time is it? 4:54. All right, cool. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So that means I can pull all this off, and that also means I need to cut this shrimp wrap off of here. Let's take care of that. Let's do it on the top here. There we go. All right. Shrimp wrap be damned. Coming off of there. Hey, I saw the new Batman movie last night with Maggie and the kiddos. It was all right. The actor, I don't know. I don't know about. I don't even know his name, but I think this new Batman is the worst actor that they've chosen. But see, here's the thing, right? Michael Keaton as Batman, like, that's unfair. That's cheating. You know what I mean? Like that's just there's so that's not fair. And then Christian Bale, I mean, that's kind of cheating too. Like those are two really, like, the bar was set very high. I don't know. I to be honest, I don't know why they keep making Batman movies. Just stop. Like, we've got what, 5, 6? Like, that's good. We can, like, cool. Batman's done. You know, Jim Carrey as the Riddler or whoever the hell he was. Like, come on. Like, it's not gonna get better than that. Like, yeah, they're making it all dark and evil and gnarly now, but like, I don't know why. Don't do that. Ooh, the little there's usually a little ball on the end of this, but that little ball is gone. I have a shitload of these. I'm gonna throw this away, actually. I don't like that little ball is there. My dad says Aunt Janet is here. Hi, Aunt Janet. How are you? Easy money, man. Easy money. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Remy Tim says George Clooney with his Batman, with his bat suit and nips is the only Batman I'll ever love. Was that on Saturday Night Live, I think? Yeah, I don't know if I'd recommend it. Although, you know, going out and seeing a movie, that's kind of fun. It's a little creepy, you know, a little super spreadery, but probably be okay. Here in Georgia, the transmission rates of COVID have gone way down. So if you're gonna see a movie, it's kind of a better time now than it's been in years. Admittedly, still a little creepy though, if I'm honest. But I don't have health insurance, so I'm very weird about COVID. Not weird, just careful. It's all right. I don't know. I just kind of came out of the movie like, why? Like, I didn't walk out of the theater like, man, that was great. It was just like, yeah, that was a movie. But I do have pretty, as somebody that went to school for TV, radio, film, I have very high expectations for movies. It's very rarely that I walk out of the movie theater like, wow, that's the greatest thing ever. So, take it all with a grain of salt, my friends. Maybe you'll love it. Maybe you'll absolutely love it. It just didn't do anything like groundbreaking for me. I would rather. You know what? Here's the deal. I would rather have watched one of the old school Batman movies again. That's the problem. Right there. Oh, I have 2 extra Crossfire Nanos. Look at me go. Look at me having extra stuff. What a Chad. Chad is cool kid speak. Look it up. I don't actually know what it means. I only know what it means in context. Which is like... I don't know what it means. Somebody else said it, and I was like, I'll start saying it. License Drive says, you got to get someone to make orange and white striped heat shrink tubing so you can officially call it shrimp wrap. There's our $1 million idea, friends. Yeah. That's something that, that would probably actually sell on, Amazon. You know, we could get that into, Urban Outfitters, you know? Shrimp wrap. And then, a little picture of a king prawn. Get it sponsored by Pepe from the Muppets. Right? Kevin Sumner says, Christian Bale Batman is best Batman. Christopher Nolan knocked it out of the park with that series. Anyone that disagrees can fight me. Yeah, you know, the original Batmans... Here it is. The original Batmans had that, ultra comic booky vibe. And they're just old school, right? And it's just forever great. And then Christian Bale Batman did, the gritty, badass thing. That's it, right? What else are you gonna do? You know, we covered it. We're good. Stop it. Zach Lothamer says it's Robert Pattinson. Dude, is it? The whole time I was like, man, this actor looks a lot like Robert Pattinson. Wait, Robert Pattinson is the dick from Twilight, right? Oh my god. Oh yeah. Zach even says performance of Twilight. Wow. Wow. So it didn't look enough. The whole movie. Wow, I'm such an idiot. The whole movie, all I kept thinking whenever they would show his big dumb face was man, that looks a lot like the guy from Twilight. Why the hell would they pick an actor that looks so much like the idiot from Twilight? And even after, it wasn't just me though. Maggie said the same thing when we were driving home. I told Maggie that, and she was like, "Yeah, you're right." Who was that actor? He did look a lot like Robert Pattinson. What a dick. That's a good call, Remy Tim. He says it was made for a younger generation. Yeah, I can... Yeah. Yeah, fuck that guy. Angry Ciotti returns. Triumphant. You guys remember... Who of the OGs remembers Angry Ciotti from back when I was really struggling? Try to be much more loving now. Sharing is caring, friends. Sharing is caring. All right, I'm gonna desolder the camera plug. I moved the bench cam, and now I need to adjust where I put stuff. I actually think that I need to adjust this little microfiber that I have on the side here to be a little bit skinnier, basically. I put my tools down on a black microfiber cloth so that they don't roll around, and it also sounds better for you guys. Like, you guys can't hear when I put the tools down on this because it's, you know, cloth rather than just the table surface. But yeah, I moved the bench cam this way a little bit, and now it's all jacked the fuck up. But I think that should be fine. These guys hang out here. And hey, where's my little prop wrench? Oh, there it is. Prop wrench goes there. And this little friend goes here. Tweezers go there. Yeah, that's fine. That works. Yeah, I just gotta move myself over a little bit more. Or what I could do is, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's take this. Oh, balls. I thought that I changed the crop on this. Canon SL1 crop. We're over time now, so so doing a good stream is now not of my concern. Now we're just hanging out, friends. What is that doing? Ooh, that's exactly what I want to do. Okay. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. 300? Nope. 500? Oh! I think that's it. Okay, so when I'm sitting here, working on quads. Perfect. Okay. Is that not how you guys do it? If you're not doing it like that, what are you doing? Can I crop the top a little bit more? I can. Look at that. I crop the top a little bit more. Take a little off the top. And all right, so let's take this. We're gonna move this here. Take this, move this down here. And we're gonna take the M3 stick and dick end fund, move it over here. I said, speaking of the stick and dick end fund, I sent a message to Stick Grippies, and I asked them, because their stick ends are really expensive. They're like $20 a set, and they have like 5 or 6 different sets. I sent a message that said, "Hey, here's what I'm doing. Any interest in sponsoring it?" And I haven't heard back yet. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Okay, so now, a lot of times what I end up doing is working too far over here. But now if I do that, it's kind of centered. Oh. Well, yeah. Now I can make my little tool area bigger again. That's fine. I'll leave it like that. It's good. Cool. I like that. I'm just going to call you Tab. Tab with a Canadian dollar super chat. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. Oh, just got burned by my parents live. Yikes. Kevin Sumner says, you mean thumb grippies or stick grippies? Yet another set of ends. Whichever one. Whichever. I'm sure I'm getting it wrong. Whichever one, they're like white nylon. Whoever that is. Thanks again, Tab. I'm not going to massacre your name. Veritas Weasel says, you sounded like the Chinese guy making the parts. Easy, Veritas. Don't. Easy. Espander says, I'm starting a new job with a different in a different trade tomorrow. Wish me luck, guys. Very cool, Espander. You're going to kill it, man. You got that shit. Ramdako says, Batman with the jelly belly in purple CiottiFPV and the biffs and pows popping on screen. Nice. License to Drive says, what do you think of Michael Keaton's version of Batman? I thought he could really show the angry, dark side of the character's emotions. I mean, it's... I'm not a good judge of the Keaton Batmans because I was an impressionable kid and they were the fucking coolest thing in the entire world. So, like, I will forever love the Keaton Batmans, even if they suck. I don't care. They get a pass from me forever. Remy Tim says, you ducking idiots. If you ever meet him, you should tell him how much he looks like Robert Pattinson and keep saying it's so weird how close you look. Yeah, thumb grippies. Okay, that's the real one. Got it. What's up, Frenzy? Frenzy with the last comment of the live stream. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm sick of working on this thing at the moment. Really, I just want to go play Gran Turismo 7. Frenzy with the last comment. He says, "Hey guys in Ciotti, what is DJI Week all about?" Frenzy, I have been like one of the last holdouts on analog, but a bunch of super generous folks from the live chat sent me a whole bunch of DJI stuff, so I am switching over some of the fleet. Basically, the rigs that I use for work when I go do professional flying gigs, those rigs are pretty much all going to get switched over to DJI. And it's going down this week. So yeah, this I've been working on a little bit on CineSplore number 2. This is the 15-degree up tilt GoPro mount CineSplore. This will be the first rig that gets moved over to DJI. Maybe I'll finish it tonight, maybe tomorrow night on the 10 o'clock stream. We'll see. And then I'm going to build a Tooth Fairy 2 scratch build maybe on Wednesday into a DJI CineSplore. I'm going to be moving over the high speed rig with the 40-degree GoPro mount as a glide frame. This rig is also going to get converted into be the Razorback from the Expanse. I'm going to put white motors on it, all red TPU, and I'm going to do some like white electric tape, and I'm going to see what else I can make in white on this build. So this will be called the Razorback from now on. And then I've also got the Rocinante, the Rossi build, which is the Basher glide. Although, no, I'm not going to move this over to DJI. Instead, I'm going to move the cinematic Dead Cat glide is going to get moved over to DJI. Rocinante is going to stay analog because it's the Basher. It's old school. It's banged up. It's, yeah. We'll keep the Rossi on analog. That'll be cool. Kevin Sumner says GT stream after this. Remy Tim says please stream GT7. I wasn't gonna, but I will just for you guys because I love you that much. Frenzy also says, I see you won't work at the scrap. Yeah, I've used DJI on other people's rigs since it first came out. There's been the biggest problem with DJI is the cost. And for me, the cost is even more insane because I have to have a second set of goggles for directors of photography, producers, whoever's hiring me to be able to monitor. And then, the gear is just really expensive. Hey, P. Richard Scott, air unit fits in the rear of the glide. There we go. I was dead ass wrong. Whoever asked that, you're probably not still in here, but maybe you'll watch the replay. What was I saying? Words. More words here. Veritas Weasel with the actual last comment of the chat. Are there any small drones you'd recommend using DJI for indoor use? Absolutely not, Veritas. DJI is just too heavy for anything that's really small, specifically indoor. It's just not going to happen. DJI is for outside only. Unless you're looking to do like Cinewhoop stuff, but it doesn't sound like you are. Bob Noxious is going to fly. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Here comes a little bit more flying. should probably be a short one. Yeah, this will be a short one. I'm gonna give you the you'll see. There's a little surprise coming for you at the end of the stream. Love you guys. Be good. I'll see you tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern. CiottiFPV.com if you want to see these live streams continue. Click all the buttons. Support your boy. Buy some stuff. Buy yourself something nice on Etsy or Teespring, or book a one-on-one session with me. There's affiliate links. If you're ever doing an Amazon order, if you hit my affiliate link before you do that order, I'll get free money. FPV Crate, FPV Cycle, Get FPV, now Newbie Drone, bunch of spots for affiliate links. Replace your bookmarks with my affiliate links. You don't even have to think about it. Love you. Be good. Later. Oh God. Oh, farts. Beep, beep, beep. This is exhausting. Bong. I wasn't on DJI, so I couldn't see that there was glass there. I can't keep this up any longer. Love you guys. See you tomorrow night. Goodbye.